everyone, my name is Ryan Goyce. I'm the general manager here in the Calcutta location. Just recently joined Rojo 7, so I know a lot of you guys have actually been here, but I just want to introduce myself and let everyone know who I am. I'm going to kind of do something fun here that I think that everyone could kind of have a little bit more recognition and kind of spotlight some of the amazing performances that we have in our district. So let's get right into that here. What we're going to call this is the Rampage Roundup, where we round up all the numbers here from the last month and quarter and go ahead and spotlight some of the amazing performances, shout everyone out, and let's have some fun and see what we can get into. We have Iggy here today, obviously, guys, our fearless leader, and he wants to go ahead and shout some people out for some of the performances on leaderboard and just some other numbers that are, or metrics that stand out and some amazing performances. So, Iggy, what do you think?
So first and foremost, I want to welcome Team Calcutta to the district as of April 1st, Verizon 2.0. They're joining our team here for Rojo 7. For anyone that doesn't know, Calcutta is probably about an hour and 15, hour and a half northeast of St. Clairsville, Ohio. Interesting fact, they have the largest square footage in terms of footprint in the district. They are actually the only store that I think is bigger than St. Clairsville, which is tough to beat. Before we get into the nitty gritty here, I just want to give you a high level overview of some of the recognition things that we have going on across the district. It's new for the entire district as well as for Team Calcutta. So some of the things we're doing is we're recognizing our top solution specialists based on leaderboard. So top 1, 2, and 3 are going to be every month recognized, as well as we'll have a quarterly recognition program. So they'll be invited to the quarterly recognition event. More to come on that, as well as our top 1, 2, 3 solution managers. And then we have some fill the fridges for our top teams quarterly on both risk as well as leaderboard performance. But then there's also some shout outs that we want to make sure we recognize those people that are doing really good work in all of the individual components. So without further ado, let's get into that.
First off, so Iggy's going to go ahead and name off some of the top performers in each of the 4 categories for leaderboard. So let's kick it off with phone gross ads.
Hey, so we all know that phone gross ads is the lifeblood of what we really get after here. And we had some monster performances for end of month March. So first, coming in the top 3, we have Ryan from Team Vienna rocking 186% to net ad attainment, which is monstrous. And no surprise here, Derek Schwindeman from Athens taking the number 2 spot, just under 200%, and rounding out the number 1 spot for Team Vienna is Tim Fisher at almost 270% for the month.
Some monster numbers there in the phone gross ad percentages. Some tough ones to beat, but congratulations to those 3 winners right there, or those 3 on your performances. Amazing job. Let's jump into pull through percentage and ARD. Let's take a look at those numbers.
All right. So when we take a look at pull through, we know that's something that takes a lot of work. All of our guests aren't necessarily coming and asking for some of these products and services. But our top 3 for end of month March, we're looking at Everett Reed, who finished at number 3, north of 32% for the district. Everett actually currently on a golf course in Florida, getting ready up for winter circle, so that's pretty exciting. He just sent me a text, 86 degrees down there.
Wow.
Also from Team Athens, Kylie Murray at 33% for the month. And first place, again, from Team Athens. So Team Athens doing a bang-up job over there with pull-through. Rob Crow at just under 60% for the month.
Those are incredible numbers. Congratulations to all 3, and all 3 from Athens. Okay, that means we all need to step up our game, guys, because all coming from one store, we got to figure it out. Maybe reach out to some of these guys and get some best practices, and see what they're doing to their key to success to give a great customer experience in pull-through. So let's take a look at ARD and accessory revenue, and let's see some of those performances. So who do we got here?
So ARD, as we take a look at that, we've had some monster numbers across the district. So this one was a very competitive metric for us across the district with very small margins in between. But our top 3, number 3 from Team Marietta was Katie McNeamer, just under $150 for the month. And then we look at, again, we've heard this name already once before, but Everett Reed from Team Athens just 40 cents ahead of Katie. So he was just under the 149 mark. And number one, formerly from Team St. Clairsville, now in Team Cambridge, Chelsea Coleman at $175. When we take a look at that, so the ARD is a very important metric, but the other thing I want to make sure we take a moment to highlight, as we were talking earlier today, was the total revenue. So ARD, as we know, you take a look at your denominator and you figure out what the accessory revenue per device looks like. But we have, I want to say it was 5 specialists across the district that crushed accessory revenue total, and we're over $10,000 in revenue for the month of March. So those specialists were Will from St. Clairsville, Emily Calavini from Team Wheeling, Tim Fisher from Team Vienna, Chelsea Coleman, again from formerly Team St. Clairsville, now Team Cambridge, and then Ryan from Team Vienna. And both Tim Fisher and Chelsea Coleman over the $12,000 mark. So monster moves there.
Total accessory revenue is just as important as ARD. I know it's not on a leaderboard, but obviously it gives a great customer experience and of course makes you that money in the bucket. So, maybe even reach out to some of those people, see what their favorite bundles are. See if it is the wireless chargers, see if it is the Google Home Minis, whatever's doing it to get that accessory revenue up for each customer to have a great experience. So let's take a look at the last category in leaderboard. It's going to be our TMP percentage. So obviously we're getting into OE season, so we'll do some shout outs next month with those performances. But right now, let's get into just the regular TMP percentage ones. And who we got here, Iggy?
A really good segue into TMP. You were talking about filling the bucket.
Yeah.
There's not many better ways to do it than with TMP. So our top 3, I want to do a special shout out to Tracy Taylor from Team Cambridge, because she's made some monster moves over the last couple of months on TMP. Just under 100% at 92% for the month of March. Then we go into one of the newest members to the district from Team Calcutta, Ian Martin, at 96%. I mean, holy cow. And another familiar name here, Chelsea Coleman from Team Cambridge currently, just 3 points shy of the 100% mark. So definitely filling the sales dollar bucket with a ton of TMP out there. Good job.
Absolutely. Chelsea's just killing the revenue game in every way that she possibly can, so that's amazing. But also creating a great customer experience. A lot of those, TMP just equates to high RIS scores. Getting a good accessory bundle, a great deal for our customers, maybe using Verizon Up, just gets us into different RIS scores. So we'll talk more about RIS here in a little bit because we have a lot to be proud of here in our district. But right before we get into that, there's a new kind of category, not really new, but something we wanted to kind of highlight and take a look at, and something that we should be, closing in on. So Iggy, why don't you tell them about that?
Yeah, it's an oldie but a goodie. It's called upgrade close rate. So I know we've talked about this in the past. Basically, the way upgrade close rate works is the customer that come into the store that you actually pull up the account and you're looking at it, if they have an upgrade that's eligible on the account, that goes into the denominator. And if you close that upgrade, that of course goes into the numerator. So that's how you figure out the metric. But the reason I want to talk about this is 2 reasons. One, because a lot of the metrics we just talked through were a lot of quality out there, but when you can get quality with the quantity, that's where the real trick shot comes into. And when you look at your upgrade close rate, as you increase upgrade close rate, the number of upgrades you're actually closing, you're going to see a couple of things. One, 70% of all of our ad lines come from upgrades. So as you increase your upgrades, you're also increasing the ad lines. As you increase your contracts, you're increasing what goes into the bucket, right? So there's a couple of specialists that really got after that upgrade close rate. And I'd like to just take a quick minute here to talk about those. I would encourage any of you to please reach out to them, figure out what they're doing, how are they building the value in that upgrade and locking those things down. So the number 3 spot goes to Chelsea Coleman from Team Cambridge at 48%, just 2 points under the 50% mark. Then we go over to Team Wheeling, Jeff Calcote at 51% for the month. So more than half of his customers he's upgrading. And then we go over to Team Vienna, Jeff Fluharty at 54% of all of his upgrades that were eligible that he touched, he was able to lock down and close up. So great job to the 3 of you.
So obviously upgrade close rate is super important, and it just creates a great customer experience. And when we look at customer experience, we just have to be hashtag customer obsessed. We have to let our customers know, our current customers and our customers to be, what makes us so great. We got to be sending the digital business cards. We have to be creating these great relationships, and upgrade close rate and Riz are probably the top 2 ways to really see that. So we had some amazing performances in our district, some of the best in the entire market and territory, and we'll get into that in a minute. But Iggy, what do you want to say about some of the specialists that did it? I think there was quite a lot.
Yeah, in fact, we had 13 specialists that were at 100% on Riz for the month. And when I think about this, as I look at the list, a lot of our specialists also were those same specialists that were really getting after some of the results and touching more customers than some of our others. So it wasn't a low volume. These are specialists that are out there that are just consistently doing it right. Everything they do starts with the customer and ends with the customer. And when we do that, we can't go wrong. So from Team Athens, we have Everett Reed, Rob Crow, and Kylie Murray all at the 100% mark. Then we jump over to Team Wheeling, Jeff Calco, as well as Chuck and Emily, all 3 of them also at 100% mark. Then we look at Team Calcutta. We have Sam Myers, previously from Boardman, Elaine, and Zach, all at 100%. Then we go over to St. Clairsville, Heather Kovach, aka Shug. And then Team Marietta, we have Sheridan and Mark Perry, all at 100%. And from Team Cambridge, Abby. So really great job to all of those individuals, just making sure that everything begins and ends with the customer in mind, and just really representing our district. Hey, so I want to thank Ryan for all the hard work he's about to do on this video. I'm sure there are several outtakes that he's going to have to go through and edit. But thank you, all of you, for everything you did in the month of March. And thank you, as I know you're gearing up and ready to lean into April and start Verizon 2.0 with a very, very strong note. Let's go Rampage.